Hey guys, Jamie here with The Point of It All, and today we have a really quick video of the unboxing for the ASUS ROG Ally. Now, as you guys know, ASUS is not the first person or the first company to put out a Windows-based handheld PC. In fact, they're way late to the game, but we're gonna see if this lives up to all the hype. Now, before I got the ASUS ROG Ally, I was the proud owner of the Steam Deck, and even though the Steam Deck wasn't the first of its kind either, it wasn't the first PC or portable computer for gaming device out there, it was a pioneer in that it did a lot of the things right that other companies failed to do. And the biggest difference really was the price point that they brought this device out at. Coming out at $649 for their most expensive product, which is the 512 gigabyte version of the Steam Deck. It really shook the handheld PC world. It took it by storm. And we never thought we'd see a legitimate, mainstream PC maker attempt a handheld at this price point, because the margins, I think, are really small when it comes to the hardware side of it. But if you're Steam, if you're Valve, they just leverage the popularity and the broad appeal of their Steam software store, and they were able to offset a lot of the costs. You know what I mean? So every time you buy a game on Steam, it helped buffer the cost of this device that they produced it at. So they're willing to take a loss like Microsoft and Sony does on their consoles. They lose money on their consoles, or they break even, at least initially, but they try to make it back in software sales. So, props to Valve for being the granddaddy of the mainstream handheld PC. Họ not the granddaddy, they're not the first ones to do this, but they're the first ones to do it right. Now, with the ROG Ally, they're attempting to duplicate, what Valve did with the Steam Deck, particularly when it comes to the price point. But for that price, you also get a lot better specs. Well, I shouldn't say a lot better specs, but they are beefier. And I'll list the specs of this device in this video. You guys can compare it to the Steam Deck and whatnot. But I just picked this up at Best Buy this morning. It was $699 plus tax. With tax, it was $745. And I have a return window that I can always send this back if I'm not pleased with it. So, I plan on keeping it, but if I'm not really blown away by the comparison to the Steam Deck, I could easily send this back. So let's open it up real quick. I'll give you my quick thoughts on how it feels in my hands and, the button placement and all that. And then in a few days, I'll come back with a more in-depth review and a comparison to the actual Steam Deck. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open and see what we got. I was gonna open this up while I was at work and just take a quick peek at what we had, but I decided to wait for this video instead. So let's see what we got. Here we go. Christmas in June, always a good thing. Always a good thing. All right. As far as the packaging go, it's nice. It's nice. It's better than what I thought it would be from the videos I saw of earlier unboxing, so it's not bad. I got one more tab to cut here on this side. There we go. And ta-da, there we go. So I wanted to do a real quick comparison of size. Let's do that real quick with the Steam Deck. So here's the ASUS ROG Ally, right? And I'm going to put it right beside the Steam Deck. You can get an idea of the difference in size. It isn't that much smaller than the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck just looks, I think the flare of the controls and the size make it look bigger than it actually is. But it is a beefy device. There's no way around that. The Steam Deck is a pretty big device. It's also, it still feels just feels perfect in the hands. I mean, that's why I just love that device. But here's the ROG Ally. Now in the box, let's see what we got here. Anything in this box? Let's see, this top lid here. Let's bring it forward. Looks like there might be something in there. Ugh. No, there's nothing in there. It's just a pretty cool ROG. That's just for packing, I guess. So we'll shove that aside. And let's get the accessory bundle here. Let's see what they've got in here. Okay, so here's the power adapter. And this is, let's see if it has a rating on here. I forget what they said it was rated at. Rated at AC adapter, 100 watts. 100 watts TDP. Well, not TDP, but 100 watts output. All right, so, and you can see that it's joined, it's attached to the brick, which I'm not a huge fan of because I like to use my chargers for other devices, but I guess I could. I guess I still could, so yeah, USB-C. USB-C power AC adapter there. What else? Nothing else in that compartment. And then what else do we have here? Anything out here? It's another box. Probably the manual, which we never read. Yeah, there's the manual. I'm sure I'm never going to read this thing because if you've been doing this a long time, you already know how to use a handheld PC. So there. So really, there's not much in the box at all. The power supply and the device itself, right? Let's take the wrapping off here and get an idea of how it feels in the hands. Now, you know, I saw the ROG Ally at Best Buy a couple of days ago, and it was locked down in a security device. And one of my initial feedbacks was that it felt really light and almost cheap and plasticky. And I've got to be honest, it still feels like the plastic, I don't know, just isn't, I don't know. I mean, it's good that it's lighter than the Steam Deck, but to me, the Steam Deck just feels, I don't know, more substantial, I guess. And that's probably because it is a bigger device in general. I don't know, the plastic just feels, I want to say cheap, but it's really light. It is really, really light, guys. Lighter than the Steam Deck, definitely. And it's noticeable. It's a noticeable difference in heft. The buttons are a lot softer than the Steam Deck as well, which isn't really a bad thing. They just feel different. Yeah, I think they feel softer. They are bigger though. They look like they're bigger, wider than the Steam Deck buttons. And that's always a good thing. They don't travel as far, I think that's it. They don't travel as far as the Steam Deck buttons do. Yeah, they don't. They're a little more shallow. The sticks feel pretty good though. They feel really good actually. So that's a plus. The D-pad, I'm not really a big D-pad guy. I don't really care about how that feels. I don't play a lot of, when I play retro games, I use my thumbsticks anyway, so it's not a huge deal. I can't wait to power this on and look at the screen. The triggers feel okay. All right, and the bumpers are decent, you know. It's a clicky sound though that I don't think, yeah, they sound a little clickier than the Steam Deck, but not a major deal. And then the face buttons are tactile. You know, you can hear a nice satisfying click there as well. On the back, you've got these customizable buttons. And to be honest, I never use mine on the Steam Deck. So that isn't really a huge deal to me at all. I don't really care about that. You see this nice little holographic strip they got going there. That's pretty neat. Heat displacement goes in the back here. And the speakers, 2 stereo front firing speakers here. So I don't know, it feels pretty good. I'm just hoping that the power is enough to justify me ditching one of my Steam Decks. I've got 2 Steam Decks, don't ask me why, long story. But if I like this device, I will sell one of my Steam Decks and keep this device. So those are my initial impressions here. You can see them real quick. You can see the headphone jack here, headphone jack right here, micro SD card slot here. This is the adapter for the external GPU that you can buy from ASUS as well. And then the power buttons here, and then the the volume buttons here, and then the power button here. Really, really light, really light. I can't wait to fire it up tonight and take a look at it, install some games and see what I'm going. I love to install Steam on this, Steam OS, so hopefully there's a way to do that without too much difficulty, because I'm not really a fan of Windows on a portable device as you know, as the main interface. It just, I just can't see having a good time with that. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Stay tuned the next couple of days. I will post some more in-depth reviews of software running on this and how Windows actually reacts to a gaming handheld as a main OS, and whether or not I'm gonna keep the ASUS ROG Ally or I'm gonna send it back to Best Buy. Until then, guys, peace. Thanks for watching. Please click the link and subscribe button if you like what I'm doing. Otherwise, I will see you guys soon. Peace. I'm out.